Thanks to Liquorland for sponsoring this episode of Willow Talk. Score more this summer with Liquorland, and of course, choose to drink wise.
I was at mid-on when you were having a go at Stokesy. And I think, did Stokesy get you out on a no ball? And that's when it all started.
Our assistant coach had played at Durham, Michael Divanuno. I don't know if you remember Diva. And we got talking that test match that they thought Ben Stokes was about to play. And Diva was very complimentary of his skills and what he could do. And then he said, if you find a moment to poke the bear a bit, just go at him. Because he is a hothead. And I was on 50 and he nicked me off. And as I was walking halfway off, the crowd started to cheer. And I thought, that's not normal. And I've looked up and seen on the scoreboard that he'd stepped over the mark. And as I walked back in, obviously the senior bowling group and everyone, they've gone back to their position. I walked past him and I just congratulated Stokes on his first test wicket. And then it kicked off. I remember Clark, but he said, "Oh, this is about to go." I said, "Yep." I said, "It's about to get real fun here." And then the game kicked off, and he said something. And mate, in my nature, I was going straight back at him. And I don't know what the line is. Something about being tough. And I remember saying to him, "I think Anderson and Broad are the tough ones, mate. They've played 80 tests and 60." I said, "You're in your first test, mate. Leave me alone."
Speaking of hats, have you got a new one for the summer? Are you going to debut a new one?
Can I go up? Bang! I've got a plethora.
Oh, look out!
One in the box though over there.
Yeah,
that's my favourite. That thing there is 100% Beaver. You heard it, folks. 100%. So for training at any destination, I'm waterproof. I am not even bothered about a brolly.
I can honestly say at the Ashes this year, you will be the only man wearing Beaver. So well done, Haydos.
No, I've got that one there. That's 20% Beaver.
Okay.
That thing there. That's
right.
That's slippery enough. Healy,
yeah.
Stop it. I mean, I don't know what your problem is. Sun protection, the 5S,
exactly.
Slip, slop, slap, seeking, and sliding.
Okay, wonderful.
Honestly.
Shall we get to cricket? Shall we get to cricket? Healy, you can just compose yourself over there.
You probably should. Yeah, Healy.
I've got these on the questions here about your favourite cricketer to commentate at the moment, and also if you had, and not to say you're talking down the ones that you might leave out here, but if you want to have a whole lot of fun sitting there commentating 10 overs of cricket, who are you calling in with you?
Oh, there's so many.
I know.
So many.
That's the problem. There's so many around.
Skull is
It just makes you laugh.
He'll come and his research.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories he comes up with. Like the punch he had at Smithy.
Smith.
Yeah. Within the first 10 minutes of play, he comes out with this story and then
just bang. Didn't wait around.
So it's good. But there's so many, and it depends on the state of the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best of a commentator comes out depending on the state of the game. When it's on a knife's edge or things of that sort, then tactically, you got to have fun. When it's boring, you see someone in the crowd with a big ice cream. Oh, the big fella. It's tucking into that, Oh, it's disappearing, at the rate of knots, Then you got to be, with it.
Can I just bring something in here? We're just going to play a bit of audio right now, and I'll ask a question off the back. So, Ravi, if you were given the opportunity, say if a team was 4 for 153 again, and then all of a sudden they were out for 153, would you say the same thing?
The same thing, yeah. Go around the corner. If you've gone for a dump and come back, the score is still 153. 6 gone.
Every person I've showed that to since we've been confirmed that you're coming on in the last week, I've said, have a look at this. Everyone's gone, did he say what? And he goes, yeah, that's Ravi. That's Ravi. You didn't get pulled up on that?
What else can I say?
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. I remember commentating with Skull, and you're doing the panel work, and it's on one. The camera's on one. BJ was the host.
Yeah.
and we're doing a test series. So he started to compare the test match to the Kardashian system. So, you know where your mind's ticking about what to say next. The producer's looking at me, and I'm going. And BJ's just off camera, and they're looking at BJ, and BJ's going. And he sort of finished and looked at us, and BJ goes, "Oh, well, that's a great way to look at. We'll just go to a break now." We said to Skull, "What?" He said, "Didn't you have a comment for that?" We went, "Mate, I was done." So he compared a test match to the Kardashian system.
Lovely. See, what he does, Kerry O'Keefe, he sits there for a few months. He doesn't overtax himself when he's not.
Yeah.
Like, you're a busy man. You're bouncing around the world. I think Skull sits in his lounge room for 2 months before a test series and just goes, "Yep, okay, yep. I've just had my morning coffee. My mind's open a bit more. Yep, I'll use that.
Best Australian bowler I ever faced.
Really?
Best. Better than McGrath. Better than anyone.
What made him so difficult to deal with?
Oh man, he hit the ball that hard, and he was just he had 2 types of bouncers. What a guy. What a competitor as well. Australians are great competitors, but he was the best I ever faced. Obviously, Warnie was in the spinning world, but in terms of fast bowlers, that guy was the best I ever faced. He was always on, always attacking the stumps. He reverse swung the ball both ways. He bowled good heat. He hit the ball hard, and if you wanted to tell you he was there, he could tell you very quickly with a quick little "Good morning, good afternoon, how are you?"
Yeah,
he was a proper bowler.
When it gets to Stuart Broad, we've got to go straight to it. Why didn't you walk?
Don't think I've ever walked in my life, particularly not when an Ashes game is on the line in a relatively low scorer. And I'm now going to ask Hads, why didn't you catch it?
Well, it's a fair question, and the reason I couldn't catch it is because it was just to the left of third man. It was that big a nick, but I agree with everything Broady did that day. It was a big nick. A few of the players had some choice words, but I don't know if you know, Adam, I didn't go near Broady after that moment. I beelined straight for the umpire. And I remember saying some nice words, and he understood exactly where I was coming from. I'm saying, mate, Ashes tests the big moments. There's a big one there. Look up on the screen. You make your own judgment of what you think the right decision was. But at some stage in this game, you're going to need to even this up.
I've got to be honest, right? So I've nicked the ball. Aussies have gone mad. I remember them all being around me, like really close. And I go down to Ian Bell the other end, sort of tap gloves, and Belly goes, "Did you nick that?" I was like, "Yeah, I've absolutely smashed that." It's okay, got away with one there. So carried on batting, got to the end of the day, walk into the change room, and Andy Flower, our head coach, comes up to me. He's like, "Can you do press tonight?" So I'm like, "Yep, all good." Because normally, like, if you've been involved in that day, you can do the press. All good. He goes, "You know what you're going to say?" I was like, "Nah, whatever. Well, I'll just answer whatever questions come." But do you know what you're going to say about nicking and not walking? I was like, "Is that a talking point? Is that actually, has that really been made a fuss of?" He was like, "Yeah, it's gone massive." And that really surprised me. That was the first time I connected with that was going to be a story, because I wasn't a walker.
Was the reaction, though, for you personally, disproportionate to what you felt was deserved?
Yeah, I think it was certainly disproportionate. Yeah, I mean, at one stage I had 25,000 people singing Broady's Wanker. That's quite an unusual thing to have when you're on the boundary. It was really loud. But it was definitely Darren Lehmann's comments when we're in England, where he came out and said, "We've got to send him home crying. It was blatant cheating," that really revved it all up.
Nobody walks nowadays. We all nick them to slip now, and it's like the umpire gives it not out, but we've already reviewed it because we know they've hit it. But the batter's still standing there.
Yeah.
And it's just been so unjustified for so long. And I'm an Australian, and I bought into it, and I was like, "Stuart's a wanker" at the Gabba. But I just look back at it and I go, what are we doing?
They bring memories, Ashes series, personal ones, team ones. But still my favourite one with you is with Roy. His first test 100, 153. You've been through so much together. You knew the enjoyment that you had on your face. You've scored 100 after 100 in all big events, but I don't think I've seen more joy on your face than when the big fella finally got that first 100 in Melbourne.
Or anyone's face more squished by a helmet. I distinctly remember that vision.
Yeah, I needed my 100% Beaver hat on, didn't I? It was really special, Hads. It's because you knew, I guess anyone that knew Andrew Symonds knew that he'd give back his World Cup rings, his Sheffield Shield winning titles to wear the baggy green. It was just such a hard thing for him to attain. I mean, he was a classic case of someone that I felt like just overthought stuff. And even going back to that innings, he overthought the shit out of it. If you remember, I don't think he'd scored after like 20 odd balls. Right? So they were just pinning him at the crease and we were 4 for nothing. And I came up to Roy and I said, "Bud, this ain't getting it done. You know, like, you just got to be you. You know, you're batting with me. Let's just get it done together." And at that point, Kevin Pietersen was just smashing him from extra cover. Every ball just at his case and his final, before Simo started launching, and this was the catalyst to it all happening, Simo looked over at Kevin and he said, "Hey, listen here, stupid." He said, "Just because you've got tough stickers on your arm doesn't make you fucking tough." And I went, "Ooh. This could be a very, very long day for England." Shit you not. Within about 2 seconds, the feet started going, the glint in the eye was there. Andrew Symonds was suddenly back. It didn't matter what his best mate was saying. He was back in business, and he just started smoking him. So, yeah, look, I mean, not only was that, such a great partnership and a really important partnership, but it was one of the great moments. It's probably my favourite moment in cricket, I'd have to say. I got a chance to bat with Huss when he made his first 100 in Tassie. That was awesome. But Simo, the emotion, the elation, just it's Boxing Day, just that extra motivation that you get with a Boxing Day test. It just, when he did leap into my arms, and as Hilzo said, it was just, I mean, I had this crushing mark in the top of the head and bleeding, and I just couldn't get enough of it. It was so good. It was such a big moment, and looking back in history, rest in peace. Like, at least he can sit up there in beer heaven with Warnie and Bacchus and Dino and a few of the great ones that we've lost and gone, "Hey, yeah, I got a Test match 100."
Captain?
Well, I mean, I've got 2 options, haven't I? Smith or Cummins. I mean, everyone's going to pick Cummins, so I'll go Smudge.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. And it won't be a surprise. People go, "Oh, well, shock, Marnus has gone with Smudge." Best mates, holding hands. But you know what? So be it. Might as well keep the spraying coming. I'm in at 3 and Smudge a skipper. No, I'm happy. I'm picking myself at 3. That's fine.
Do it.
Go. No, I'm in.
You be you, Marnus.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair enough. It's your list. You should be in your own list.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get criticised, so be it. But I'm backing myself in there. I mean, I've played the most with myself, so.
No comment.
That's an interesting thing to say, isn't it?
Mates coming over to watch the cricket and you forgot the drinks? Liquorland will bring the drinks with free express delivery on orders over $99, and it will be there in under 60 minutes. Whether it's a backyard barbie, a picnic in the park, or just everyone round at yours to watch the cricket, Liquorland's got you covered this summer. Liquorland, official gold partner of Cricket Australia. 18s plus only, T's and C's apply. Express delivery not available in South Australia or the Northern Territory. Delivery fees may apply. Choose to drink wise. What was it like seeing Michael Holding almost like 300 metres away at the top of his mark?
Yeah, he would stand by the side screen with one leg up, at times waiting. And they, if you thought, it was West Indian, flamboyant, people, and they were the most professional outfit.
Yeah.
And they would make you feel like if a wicket went, by the time you come to the crease, they'll all be in their positions. right?
Yeah.
So you're walking alone. You're going past a Richards or a Clive,
Yeah.
and you're going to the middle there, and Marshall is on the top of his mark. They're all in positions, and you're taking guard, and the crowd really getting out. Come on, man. Bounce him, man. Kill him, man. Marco, kill him. And they're at you. And no restriction on bouncers in the early 80s. They could bowl 6 if needed. Yeah. And it was... And you're talking of Roberts, Holding, Marshall and Garner.
So change of bowler meant nothing.
I mean, 67th over, it would be Larry Gomes. And the dancing shoes would come out, everyone. And Richards will roll his arm. 1 or 2 wickets will fall there. Because of that second new ball, coming up. And
For running with Pat when I was walking out to bat, I sort of said something to him. And he said, "Oh yeah, Broady, you're hardly the face of spirit cricket or something." And that just revved me. I was like, I'm not having that. So I didn't even say like, "How's it?" to Stokesy when I got out there. I just walked straight past Stokesy and I just started having to go at everyone. And I said something ridiculous to Alex Carey, like, "That's all you're going to be remembered for." I just completely forgot there were stump mics and cameras. Anyone in a green cap, I'm just having a go at. And after about 20 minutes, Stokesy would tap gloves. He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Sorry, Skip. I'm absolutely all over the place." I was calling Pat everything, like saying all these boos, they're for you, Pat, they're for you, all these boos. I've not seen Starkey since this, and I need to apologise for him because there was one bit where Stokesy's going, he's flying, and Starkey's bowling into the wind to the short leg side boundary down the hill, and he's asked to bowl short to Stokesy, and Stokesy's a really good player, the short ball. And Stokesy's sort of top edge 1 for 6, and then he's whacked one to old Father Time. And I was doing this most ridiculous, embarrassing thing where every time Stokesy middled the ball, was going for 6, I was going, "Woohoo! 6 more! 6 more, Stokesy! Shot boy!" Like out loud. And I remember this look, because obviously I know what it's like to get hit for 6s. It's a horrible feeling. I remember Starkey looking at me as if to say, "Just off."
I gave him so much confidence. He went on, he became a James Bond. He took 707 wickets after that. So, but you knew there and then the bloke had control. I remember batting with Sachin. Sachin was just waiting to cut or pull. Didn't give him much. Very rarely was he pulled through mid-wicket or cut. He was the control was there. He might not have had the variety which he had later. But the leg break was his stock ball, and it remained his stock ball right till the end of his career. And what I liked was the temperament. In fact, I told him, it won't be long. I remember picking up the Man of the Match award and coming down the stairs, and he was passing by, and I gave him a pat on the shoulder, and I said, "Tough luck, mate, but it won't be long before you take a 5-4, 6-4." And within 8 months, he had taken I think a 6 or 7-4 at the G against the West Indies.
Funnily enough, this morning I caught it up again, him coming out against India. Okay, they're 5 for 500 and he walks out and Kohli's staring at him for 20 seconds.
There's a story to that.
And then he just smacks who the bowler was. Who was the bowler? I'm sure you
One of the
remember.
best in the world at the time. I think Mohammed Shemi or something. There's a story to that, though. I'd just come back. I probably shouldn't have played the first 2 tests. I had a dislocated shoulder, did it in the UAE. And our physio at the time put my shoulder in a position where I couldn't move it up, like a footballer where they can tackle. And they hit me a couple of times with the short ball, but I couldn't get my arms around. And I never had a shot problem with the short ball. And Kohli kept going at me, and I said to Boxing Day, to the physio, "Tape's off." He said, "Your shoulder might come out." I said, "Well, my head might come off." I said, "I can't keep playing this way." Anyway, he went at me and I got him away. Then he kept coming at me in Sydney. He walked across to me. He wasn't saying anything. It was only for TV. And I noticed he had brand new shoes on. So I marked centre and I started kicking the dirt
His way.
on his shoes. And he was sort of shocked. And we're 5 for 500. And I thought, no, I'm making a statement. I'm either losing my stumps here or this is going out of the park. And I was lucky enough to get hold of it. But I couldn't stop giggling. And what people don't know, right there, I booked a box for all my mates and family. So you can see it on the replay. As I hit it, they've jumped out of their chair. Alcohol's gone everywhere. My mates were right there.
How good. But when you went to the crease, did you find that if you didn't have a clear mind and just play your natural game, if you overthought it sometimes, that then got you in the straitjacket as opposed to...
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Junior used to be a wonderful ally for me at the top of the one-dayers order. Just would say, forget the scoreboard for the first 5 overs. Like, do not even think about it, because it's the moment I was premeditating, trying to, think, right, I've got to get, a couple of boundaries here or whatever. Yeah, I was cooked. Literally, it was clear the mind, watch the ball, trust. So that was, my best method. And then, if someone was coming in saying something, if I engaged with them, that's then taken away my ability to clear my mind, because I'm worried then about getting out. So just trying to, completely have a clear mind and just play what's in front of you, as they say.
Favourite knock?
My favourite knock in my entire Australian career there's nothing sexy about this, it was 49 in the second test in Chennai in 2004.
49?
49. I was young. In the second inning, we gave up a first innings deficit, and then in our second innings, so we were about 120 behind, I think, from memory. And we knew that wicket was going to get turned more and more into a dung heap as we went on, so we needed to get to parity as soon as possible and then start to build a lead into the fourth innings. So I was captain. I said, bugger it, I'm batting 3. And going to try and go in and just be positive. And as like what you said, Hads, try and change momentum of a game. So I went in there and was just like really positive, and got us up to parity, but then got out just before stumps. Ugh. And but that allowed us then the next day. Dizzy went in as night watchman, and the next day he batted for about 5 hours with Mardo. It ended up being a washed-out, drawn game on day 5. It was all set up. They needed 200. We needed 9 wickets on a day 5 pitch in Chennai, so it was game on, and it rained. But I felt like, for me personally, it made a statement that got the momentum going our way. Not that the others mightn't have got the runs, but that for me was my personal favourite.
Did you enjoy that time as captain? That's the last time we won in India.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that you captained that series.
No, that's why I bring it up.
Yeah, good.
To talk about, so people then go, you captained that.
Did you bring it up with Ricky Ponting?
well, he captained the 4th test and we lost it in 2 days. Jesus. But
Keepers
thankfully,
need more power.
We had that's right, we had the trophy by then. I was absolutely shitting bricks leading into it as captain, because I mentioned earlier in 2001, I was coming out of there with some bad demons. 100 first game, how easy is this? And then 0-0-1-1 in the next foot, and I was spooked.
0011.
So I think, the
plus symbol.
That's right. Andrew Denton at the time, on Triple M, I believe, said you should get a sponsorship from Telstra, overseas dialing. But I think the captaincy took my mind away from any nervousness. It was all about team focus. That was a highlight of my career, from a team achievement point of view. That we were able to get that job done, and no one's done it since as a team. It's a challenging spot, as you know.
Hopefully in about 16 months' time, Australia can get it done over there.
Yep.
Gilly, your kind of, relationship with Australia really, we've got it here, that it was grade cricket in the early 2000s. What jumps out at you there from your time in Australia, and what you learned about the Australian way of life and the Australian way of cricket?
I wasn't scared of Australia because Southern Hemisphere people are the same. We're ruthless. We work hard. We're patriotic. We are go-getters. We have that never ever say die attitude, and the game isn't over until the game is over. So I didn't worry about Australia or fear Australia or have any issues with Australia because I was brought up in the Southern Hemisphere. And so when I came to Australia, I sort of accepted and understood that that's the way that they were going to be because that's the culture. I think the hardest thing that I ever had to deal with was being the pantomime villain from as soon as I stepped off the plane in whichever city I stepped off the plane until I left. and then just being absolutely battered for the 2 months that I was there. I think that was the thing that mentally I had to deal with and challenge myself with, and try and put that to bed on most occasions, and try and flip into white line fever whenever I practiced, whenever I trained, whenever I was doing something to try and make me better as a player. But I understood it. I got it. I struggled in Australia as an England player off the field, just because of the pressures of being there and being the guy that you guys went after. On the field, I absolutely loved every battle. Like, the battles for me on the field were amazing. Like, I just loved it. I know we got hammered in 6, 7, and we got hammered in 13, 14. And we got up on you guys whenever that was, 9, 10 or 10, 11. But I just loved the battle. I loved every single, even if we were losing, I loved the battle. And then when I flipped colours, put a green uniform on and went and spent a lot of time in Melbourne, like, I really got to see the best of Australia. I really got to see the best of the people. To get a standing ovation to finish my career off. I know I finished it off in the Middle East a month or so after the Big Bash, but to see a send off at the MCG for a career that I was finishing, and the one that I got, and the respect that I got from the Australian crowds was, it was very emotional, and it was a complete 180. My wife always says to me, like, when she was with me playing for England, compared to going to the Australian Open tennis at a time when I was playing for the Melbourne Stars, like, she just couldn't believe it. Like, from being abused in the streets to guys running across the street for pictures, like, she was like, "What the hell? Are we in a different? Like, where are we here?" So yeah,
we hate and love easily down here.
Hey,
we hate and love easily at the same time here. It's just
we understood it. I understood it. I got it. But I can never ever say that it was easy when you're playing for England and you got the target on your back.
Yeah. Well, what about KP walking into the change room in 2005, that unbelievable Ashes series, your first, and it looked like for someone so new, you relish the opportunity to walk toe with the King, McGrath, Brett Lee, your special innings at the Oval, but it looked like you were just craving that challenge straight away.
You guys and everybody makes a big thing about the Ashes, right? But for the Ashes, for me, English people and Australians worried about the Ashes. I grew up in South Africa.
Yeah.
So for me, actually, my hardest venture was a month or two before that, when I went back to South Africa. And I played against South Africa. I hadn't played a game. And they basically just said, in the deep end, buddy, you don't have a life jacket on. You don't have armbands on. We think you can swim. Go and swim. And that's what I did in South Africa. So to walk away from the South African series with the man of the series and scoring 300s in that series, and believe me, the hostility in a crowd in Johannesburg and in Bloemfontein that I faced there was nothing like your crowds. You couldn't even compare the aggression. You don't even understand the things that were said to me. The noise when I walked out to bat at the Wanderers, that first time I represented England in South Africa. It was deafening, like deafening. You walk down the steps in the Wanderers and you walk down over that barrier. Dude, I reckon if that barrier wasn't there, I would have been taken out.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. So for me, playing against Warne, McGrath, Lee, Warnie was my buddy from Hampshire. I got to know Warnie for 6 months before that, played cricket with him. Spend a lot of time with him on the field talking about cricket, off the field talking about cricket. So for me, it wasn't a major thing. For you guys, Ashes cricket, major. For me, that South African series was major.
So when you reference what you went through at Wanderers, for instance, and getting plenty of advice about your lifestyle choices in Afrikaans from your former mates, as opposed to coming in at Lords when McGrath's on a heater, he's taken 3 wickets in 5 minutes flat, and all of a sudden he's charging down the slope at you. You found that second gear as opposed to third gear required over in South Africa.
Second gear as opposed to fifth gear.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you can understand it, right? You can understand it. If you guys grew up in Australia, been there for 20 years, played your whole life, your favorite rugby team is the Australian rugby team. All of a sudden, you go play for South Africa, okay, and you're chucked into the deep end back at the MCG. Your first time ever playing for South Africa at the MCG. How do you reckon the Aussies are going to go? How do you think that walk down the steps there at the MCG is going to be?
Yeah, exactly like yours at Wanderers.
Exactly. So that's the thing. That's for me why Ashes cricket I never really had any dramas with, because I didn't have that emotional connection to it like obviously I do with South Africa.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.